Welcome everybody to more new player action here between Bryan Lamb at the top of the screen and Will McCarty at the bottom. This is a kind of a catch-up match because Bryan came in to fill a spot that was vacated when a player left. So you can see he's trying to catch up. Now he's only 6 points behind Will, so he's had a good start. Looks like he's on black-green Constrictor. This was recorded by Will, so the cards at the bottom are his. And he's on this mono black control that we've seen a bit of in the last couple of weeks from him. He is tempted to use the Never Return there, but he just killed the Constrictor, so it's going to be in the grave, and now he's got bigger things to worry about. Traxos, a 7/7 Trampler. Traxos doesn't untap until he plays an historic spell. Now, Vraska's Contempt is instant speed, so I would have been inclined to hold that back and cast it in response to something. You can see he's got a second one there, because he might be wanting to exile that Scrap Heap Scrounger. Let's put him down to 16 now. The reason I say that is because Scrap Heap Scrounger has recursion. So you can see here he's going to try and never return. Oh, he's actually going after the Ballista. But for a mono black deck, that Scrounger is going to be very annoying. It's just going to keep coming back. And in response, Vraska's Contempt is going to take down Khan. So big play there from Bryan. But you can see Bryan's actually out of cards. He's only got one card left in hand. And with 3 cards, here's a second Scrounger, so I think he's going Will's going to be forced to use that Vraska's Contempt here. Gonti is going to get him pure card advantage, although here's Dreadshade that is just going to be a roadblock. What's he want to take? Nothing fantastic there. Maybe the Mimic and then name something, name whatever Dreadshade is, I'm guessing. Yeah, that's the path he's going to go. Name Shade. I didn't even know Shade was such a thing. Well, there you go. Fatal Push on the Mimic is going to mean that Dreadshade's only going to be a 3/3. But 2 pretty good blockers right there. I think he swings now though because, yeah, there's a good play from Bryan. I like that. Dreadshade can't be pumped. So he's going to go to 5, and that Scrounger's going to get rid of Gonti, but you can see that. And very nice follow-up, Fatal Push on the Dreadshade. You can see right here, Scrap Heap straight back out. So Will can answer one of these with the Vraska's Contempt, but the other one's going to go unchecked. And big problems now because you can see the land and nothing else going on, as he's going to flashback Never Return to get a zombie. That's going to better block 1 Scrounger. So it's Bryan also playing off the top of his deck, but these Scroungers are just recursive. Okay, here's an aggressive Vraska's Contempt. So he's going for lethal here, but in response, it's not going to be lethal. Puts him to 7. It's going to buy him 2 turns. So what can he find off the top here? No, don't do it now. Yeah, passes the turn. You can't do it now because he'll just get it back. He's got the 2 mana up. He's going to get the other one back here. Well, he didn't do it, so I'm sure he's got creatures in the graveyard. And he's found an even better one because the Gearhulk can only put the counters on himself. Unfortunately for him, unfortunately for Will, he flashed that cast down, so Bryan will put all the counters on the Gearhulk, which is going to be lethal next turn, and we're going to game 2. Yeah, that was a good example of costing him the match by flashing that card too early, being tempted to play it. Instant speed You generally never play on your own turn. There are obviously circumstances, particularly if you're against a blue deck and they're tapped out. So a Mimic that he cannot answer, this is going to be a problem. He needs a third land here to get that Doomfall, but he doesn't hit it. And you can see the Cabal Stronghold, it doesn't tap for black, so you can't even play Gifted Aetherborn. And there's the third black source, but it's a turn too late. And he's kind of in big trouble now, because if there's another creature here, or there's a Khan, so Khan not so bad if he can find his fourth land here, because you can see he does have the Vraska's Contempt in hand. He gave him a forest there, I believe. Yeah, I think I would have given him the Spear of Industry because it costs 1 life to tap it. Yeah, I like this play. Make him exile a creature. Gifted Aetherborn is going to take down the other creature. Unless he doesn't want to block. He doesn't block, so Khan goes to 4. Yeah, and the other thing with Spear of Industry, it doesn't actually work. It doesn't give you coloured mana if you don't have an artifact. He can swing the Voltaic Servant here because it untaps at the end of the turn. Although you think he wants to untap the Traxos. And he does. So this is not looking good here for Will McCarty. None of these cards really scream cast me. He needs that fourth land because this is going to be a trade construct for Gifted Aetherborn. He can play out another Aetherborn, so this is actually checking the Traxos. I think Traxos is legendary, so you can give him one there. But he's got to get that Voltaic Servant off if he wants to let him cast a Traxos. Because you can see here he's going to kill this Traxos, but there's another one going to come straight down because Voltaic Servant can untap it right here. And here's the next Traxos. You can see 2 Khans in hand is a bit awkward for Will as well. Okay, he's got the 4th land. What does he do now? Does he Vraska's Contempt the Khan or play Gifted Aetherborn? That was definitely not the play I would play there. That's just a flat out dead. That's just a dead Khan right there. Traxos has got Trample, so that Construct is doing nothing. So that's kind of a wasted turn. I might have been inclined to play the Aetherborn first and then let him draw an extra card through Khan. So you can see here, Traxos is going to do 7 to or even more now. This is looking ugly. Extra counters, of course, because of the Constrictor. Where are they going? 17 coming across, so he's just flat out dead here. I think you may as well finish off the Khan, because getting him to 1 is not much different to getting him to 5. Yeah, nice. I like that attack from Bryan. And I don't see what he can possibly get out of this. Because Verdor Scarehawk has Trample as well, so I think this one's over. Yep, and he's going to concede, so we're going to go to Modern. A very quick and nice 2-0 win there for Bryan Lamb. So just, if you look at the scores, 21-15, they're the scores entering into this match. So Bryan cuts that now to 21-19. So he can actually overtake Will if he has a good showing here. Will is on blue-white control, so we'll see what Bryan is on. Bryan is on Affinity. I think this is not a bad matchup here for blue-white control, particularly if he's got access to Settle the Wreckage. But we can see here he's kept a really ugly hand. So this first one, oh, hold on, Windbrisk Heights. You don't normally see that in Affinity. He's going to be able to... yeah, I think you put it on the Blink Moth. He has to attack with 4 or more for the Windbrisk Heights. If he's attacking with 4 cards, you're dead. Again, I don't like firing off a Path to Exile like that main, because also it gives him that extra land. So here's Shrams. Okay, so Bryan is on a brew, which is pretty cool. Looks like some sort of Affinity brew. We saw Shrams expertise there. But this is going to be a really nice detention sphere. Clean up all those servos. That's brilliant. Cleans up his board and passes the turn. So it's only a 1/1 Volt Scourge to deal with now. Oh, he's got a second Shram, so the threats just keep coming. And he's got the backup, so what are we looking... He needs another land before he can even cast Supreme Verdict. I might have been... Now, you can Cryptic and tap down here. He's at 16, 2, 4, 6. He can probably take another hit if he wants. No, he's going to go to Cryptic. Oh, wait, can he? Yep. And he finds what he was after, the Detention Sphere. Oh no, actually, nice play. I like that play from Will. He bounced the Detention Sphere. But you just see the problem there. He actually... He cast the Cryptic too early, so he could still attack with the Blink Moths. Bounced his own Detention Sphere, brilliant play. And now he's going to get rid of all of those servos again. He's still at a very healthy 14 life, and with 4 cards in hand, including a Jace, I like where he's at. Bryan's has got 2 cards in hand. He didn't do anything there, so let's see what he wants to do. I'd be tempted here just to pass a turn. Yeah, okay, you can do that as well. Take down that pesky Blink Moth. Jace, okay. Tempered Steel, what is that? All creatures get... uh-oh. I think you put that on the bottom, surely. Yeah, he bottomed that card. Okay, here's another Windbrisk Height. Here's a 3rd Shram's expertise for the game. No follow-up this time, so it's just 1/1 tokens. Where's he going? Is he going for the throat, or is he going for Jace? He's going for the throat. I like that aggressiveness. Yep. Hoping to find Supreme Verdict here. Oh, he desperately needs a fetch land. Now, if you're going to play that Hallowed Fountain and play it tapped, you may as well have taken a Celestial Colonnade. I would have taken that Hallowed Fountain and played it untapped so that I could cast Glimmer of Genius, because he's kind of on a... And in Glimmer of Genius you could have scryed those 2 lands to the bottom, and then had a better chance of hitting Supreme Verdict or Settle the Wreckage. They're the only cards that are going to save him here. That Windbrisk Heights is going to flip this time. So here he is flipping. We'll see what's under there. Chief of the Foundry. Is that just death? 2, 4... He didn't swing the Volt Scourge. If he swung the Volt Scourge, that would be lethal right there. So he goes to 1. Supreme Verdict or bust. There it is. He's got the Supreme Verdict. So he's going to just swing this before. Yeah, I think when he's swinging like that, you know what's coming. And Bryan just correctly blocks. Clears the board. Gideon gets... Gideon pluses on the Blink Moth Nexus, so that's not going to do any damage. Ornithopter's not doing anything. So Snapcaster here, and it's starting to look like the blue-white control mage is going to stabilize here. I have a guest here. He's going to go for the Jace kill, but you can see these Ornithopters don't do anything as O2O2s. Negate's not a bad draw here either. And here's a Glimmer. I think this one is quickly... Yeah, put those both on the bottom quick smart. Oh, look at how many lands he's drawing.
Dad, you must draw more.
Okay.
It's shower time.
I thought you just had a shower.
It's shower time again.
So Jace is going to look. This match looks like it's... So Bryan has to split these in two. I think you give him the Gideon and the Logic Knot and get rid of Path. Yep, that's what he's doing. So he took the Path. But this is looking ugly now. I think this match is gone. Sorry, this game is gone. Yeah, and Bryan's seen enough. He concedes. Hercule's Recall in the opening hand there for Will. That's a very good card in this matchup. And he's got a Snapcaster, so this is going to be ugly as well. But two Windbrisk Kites. So he's just playing the Spreading Seas here to draw the card at this stage. And he's got another one. I'd be tempted to hold that card, although you can see he's quite flooded for land. Yeah, Hercules is going to bounce all of this. I think you just take the 2 at this stage. Yeah, I'm with Will here. I get super greedy. I want to get as much value as I can out of that Hercules Recall. Oh, Cranial Plating. You can play the Gideon, and you're only going to be... Oh, he's going to equip the Cranial Plating though, so it's going to have to be dealt with here. He might have even been tempted to fire off the Detention Sphere on the Cranial Plating, because you can see it's made out of 5/2 Ornithopter. The other option he has here is to... Okay, I like this as well. Tap down all the creatures, and he bounced the Cranial Plating. So you can see Bryan doesn't have the land to play it back out again this turn. And a Cryptic, so you can get rid of it with Cryptic right now. Signal Pest though is a pest that's going to have to be dealt with, because it's going to be pumping all those creatures on the attack. You can see nice play there from Bryan. He doesn't play the Cranial Plating but prior to combat, so he's playing around Cryptic Command very well there. So I like that play. But back come the Ornithopters. They don't do anything. The Signal Pest is going to come back. Volt Scourge. It's he didn't play back the Cranial Plating there. He had the opportunity because Will was tapped out. Will's looking to get that with the Cryptic, and he gets it. It's a Signal Pest is what he's got to sort of shut down here. Yeah, Path to Exile. He's going to bottom both of those cards. It surprises me a bit. Settle the Wreckage is going to be nice. I would be tempted to go Snap and Path that Signal Pest before combat, because the Windbrisk Kites are going to flip here. You see, he's doing it now. Oh, okay, yeah, Hercule's recall, so there is no path. That must have been the previous game, sorry. I would have let that Windbrisk Heights resolve. Wait, did the Windbrisk... Oh no, okay, yeah, sorry, the Spreading Seas is on the Windbrisk Heights, so it can't resolve anyway. But this is going to be really nice next turn because he's setting up that Settle the Wreckage. Or Tempered Steel cannot be dealt with. And look at the pump that's on those things. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 damage. Pull that one back very quickly. He could actually Detention Sphere that Tempered Steel here if he wanted. And there goes the board, but Bryan's still got 4 cards in hand, so there's something going on over there. He just lost four permanents off his board though. Here's a Servo Exhibition and a Signal Pair, so that's a nice recovery. He's down to 1 card, but I think you get rid of that Temporal Steel this turn. Yep, and Bryan is quickly going to do that. Oh, sorry, Will is quickly going to do that. Huh? No, he went after the creatures instead. Okay, I'm guessing here he's got a nice play lined up. What he's going to do, go after the creatures so that they were tokens, they all disappear when they're exiled. He's then going to Snapcaster and Cryptic that Detention Sphere, bounce it back, and then he can get a second target with it. Plays that... What's he got going on here? I think Gideon's on the... he can... No, if he wants to, he can snap and get back the... Settle the Wreckage here. Holds back the Vault Scourge just for a bit of security, I'm guessing. He still has basics, so it looks like it's mono white Affinity. He's swinging into a 3-2. Oh yeah, because it's Gideon means he can't do anything. He's going to draw and Vendilion click him on the draw. See what that last card that he draws. It's a Cranial Plate, and so that's a nice pickup there for Will. And this is quickly starting to look like a 2-0 Modern victory coming for Will. And a path to exile for a bit of security. No, I don't think he needed to fire that off right then. Okay, so yeah, because of Temporal Steel, he had to remove the blocker that was in the way. So 2-turn clock here for Bryan. What can he find to get out of this situation? Signal Pest is a 3-2, so 2-3, sorry. He's offering a trade here. No trade taken. He's going to be forced to trade next turn because Celestial Colonnade is... No, actually he's just dead on board. Fire up the Colonnade and this one's over. You can see he's got no cards in hand, so it's just a case of attacking here. Not sure why Bryan doesn't concede. He wants to see the damage done. And he's had enough, he concedes. So we're going to go to Legacy now. So after Bryan took down Standard 2-0, Will has fought back and took down Modern 2-0. Status quo restored, so the margin between the two players is back to what it was beforehand. It looks like Bryan here is on Soul Sisters and Legacy. Will is on Death and Taxes, or whatever it's called in Legacy. Not really sure who's the favourite one here. So Mother of Ruins, this is a card that needs to be removed right now because once it untaps it can protect something. But you can see the temptation there is to go for, well, yeah, he cancelled that. I'd go Stoneforge Mystic here, and that's what he's going to do. He can't actually, yeah, he can't even play the GT anyway because his own Thalia means that he can't, he has to pay extra for it, which he doesn't have. Swords to Plowshares is going to make sure that he's not getting that card draw next turn. I mean, he's not getting that sword down, or the Batterskull, probably more likely. But one card left for Bryan. This time he plays a GT. Well, he held Thalia back then because Mother of Ruins can just chump. As Soul's Attendant doing a bit of work here. Okay, so every time that Sword of Light and Shadow is doing damage, he gains 3 life and he can return a creature card from his graveyard to his hand. So this is a pretty tough lock that he's got going on. And he can't attack with Thalia because Mother of Ruins can just protect whoever she targets, so protect the Thalia Guardian of Thraben, protection from white, and he can just... both players here with mismatched wastelands. I believe Bryan's using the Eternal Masters Wasteland. And is it Apocalypse, I think, is a set for Wills? Okay, here's the thing. These are safe attacks because of the Mother of Ruins. What's really going to make this messy is next turn when both of them have a Mother of Ruins online. What is going to break this stalemate, though, is a Batterskull. So I believe Will is actually the favourite now because Batterskull is colourless, so Mother of Ruins can't protect anything from it. Okay, he's going to give it pro-white. Puts 2 counters, so he can actually remove the counters here. And he's going to go after the Mother of Ruins. So he has to remove both counters to do this. Because she... Okay, yeah, I was going to say... I would have... If I'm Bryan there, I would have activated Mother of Ruins just to force him to use a second counter, because now he's still got a spare counter on there. He's going to equip his own GT. You can see on the other side the Mother of Ruins is tapped out, so it's going to go back the other way. Bryan's going to now remove his own counter from a Mother of Ruins and from his GT and take down that Mother of Ruins. If he wants to be super aggressive here, he could actually take down both the Mother of Ruins and the Thalia, but I think... no, Bryan... Will reached for the concession there. He's down to 3. Yeah, he's going to concede because he can just get protection next turn. I don't think he actually needed to concede there because he could have activated the Stoneforge Mystic to play the Batterskull because Batterskull would have had protection from colour and it has lifelink as well, so he wouldn't have been able to push through the last 3 points. So he finds a GT. He's got the Mirran Crusader there. It doesn't have protection from white in this game. Oh, now that's an interesting choice. Brian's bought on Stony Silence, which is kind of odd considering he has basically the same deck that relies on artifacts. So we could see there again, Stoneforge swung in. Mother of Ruins can actually block and give herself protection from a colour. I don't know if Bryan realises that. No, this is not going to work. You can't Swords to Plowshare the Ajani. Mother of Ruins is just going to tap and give it protection. So he's targeting Mother of Ruins. Now she can target herself. Yeah, so she targets herself, gives herself protection from white, so it doesn't work. What he does have now is Mother of Ruins tapped out. I think he needed to go for the GT there. This Mother of Ruins is just a damn nuisance card. It's really hard to get off the battlefield. But you can see the Ajani Pridemate's going to start going to work here. He's got 2 Pridemates, so this is starting to swing in Bryan's favour now. Starting to look pretty ominous for Will. And with that Mother of Ruins, I don't see how Will can get out of this. This is like a free attack, because if he blocks, it's a chump. No, okay, yeah, he can tap his own Mother of Ruins here to get protection from white. But if there's a Swords to Plowshares on the other side, then it's going to take down that Mother of Ruins. And that will be the match if it is. No, he doesn't have it, so it's lucky for him. 2 Mother of Ruins, so this is what you need. You can see because the GT is not going to work because of the Stony Silence. My guess here, I'm not sure why Spirited Labyrinth come in. It prevents players from drawing more than 1 card a turn. Don't see the relevance in this matchup. But my guess here is that Bryan sideboarded out his artifacts and probably his Stoneforge Mystics as well to sort of take an alternative. And Bryan copies with his own Mother of Ruins. And another Stony Silence. The problem here though is that Bryan has 2 monsters sitting on the battlefield and nothing equivalent on the other side. A bit of a... I mean, Bryan's just trying to wear him down here. If he wanted to push that damage, he could have given the creature protection from white before he swung. Recruiter, what's this going to find? The Pridemates just get bigger. What does he want to find here? He's trying to think, what can I... Maybe a Banish... I mean, but Banisher Priest won't even work because Mother of Ruins is protecting it. Yeah, I think Mother of Ruins is the best pickup there. But I think in casting that now, his Ajanis are up to 18 damage. So if he has any creature, he can cast it, give both protection from white, and this one is over. So you can see he's doing this pre-combat now, give them protection from white. That's not going to work because Recruiter to Guard can't block. And we're going to see a concession, so Bryan will take Legacy 2 games to 0.